just take a little video. What are they doing? Hi.
And we're back home, obviously.
Yeah, not a lot of snow in India.
Yeah. So,
Although there are parts of India that do get snow.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shimla.
Yeah.
Shimla?
Yeah. Up in
Man,
the
look how shaky I am right now. Holy moly.
We're in a hot tub. It's really.
All right. Cool. So.
We're in a hot tub. It's Raj's birthday today.
Yeah,
So we
I'm an old
celebrated
man now.
Holly's 40th in India. Now we're here back in Canada celebrating Raj's 40th. Yay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But you can't tell. Can you?
That you're 40?
Yeah. Anyway, okay. All right.
Okay.
So, we left off. We were leaving Varanasi, and from there we went to Khajuraho, or Pam? Say it.
Khajuraho.
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 I don't know,
That's how you
we
say
heard
it.
a couple of different things. But anyway,
Yeah.
so, and I picked this destination because it has the Kama Sutra temples. And everybody thinks I picked it because I'm a dirty pervert, but I actually love old temples. Wherever I go, like Southeast Asian stuff, I really, really, really like the old temples because of the detail, like the amount of detail that goes into these things, like these carvings and everything. Like the temples are so detailed and intricate, and like, I mean, half of these carvings people can't even see because it's like up high and like goes all the way to the top. So I just really love the attention to detail that goes into it. And it's not something that you see like modern day, like that kind
So
of
how old is it?
effort.
Remember?
No,
It's-
I don't.
Anywhere from 2,000 to 5,000 before Christ is the range for the temples out
Yeah,
there.
so they're really old.
2 to 5 BC?
Yeah.
2,000,
I thought it was 2 to
2,000,
5,000
5,000
years
BC.
old. Oh,
No,
holy moly.
before
That's
Christ.
extra old. That's an extra 2,000 years old.
Right?
Man.
But for the detail for that.
Yeah.
And those stone boobs were still super perky.
Oh, yeah. What was happening back in the day? Wow.
Self-massage.
Everybody
Self-massage.
Everybody had
Self-massage.
It
massive.
wasn't. It was the guy with the side boob massage. It's all about side boob massage. That's what the all
Yeah, yeah. Self-massage, not wearing a bra.
Yeah, yeah.
They were
Massive
probably
and like
pregnant
up.
most of the time.
It was like
Strong.
it was like
Republicans.
everybody. It was like a watermelon that had been cut in half and placed on the peck. It wasn't even like any kind of gravity or anything. They were just like on, like right on the peck. It was
with a
insane.
perfectly perked nipple.
So, but anyway, yes. Obviously, I will show some clips of that. Did you want to talk about your favorite one? Is that your favorite one, or just the most,
My favorite one?
or the most shocking one? The horse.
Pam.
Oh, that was my favorite one.
You
I don't know
dirty
what
pervert. So Pam's a dirty pervert.
There was one that I was like, oh my lord, seriously, there is a man fucking a horse, and I was just like,
You just said fucking.
I did.
We'll allow it.
Okay. I don't know the rules of the Primer Desire. I'm not part of the team, so I can do whatever I want.
Real breaker.
Yeah, it was. Whoa! I can't do the right roll.
Whoa.
There you go. I think Raj liked that multitasking one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was my favorite one. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some good ones for sure.
Yeah. And
then-
actually even like, and so there was kind of like the bigger ones in the center of the
Those
thing,
are
but then
called the West
but
Temples.
then all like the little really detailed ones were super cool too. Like, yes. Oh
Yeah.
man, it was just
Yeah.
I love it. So,
So we got up super early at dawn and went and did the West Temples, and then
yes, there's a handful of them.
then we went.
And those were the Hindu ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was some Jain ones that we went to.
And then we went through town and had a couple bites. We had a little bite to eat. We had some really good food, and then some amazing barfi.
Oh yeah, that barfi was so good.
Yeah,
I forgot
super
about
good.
that.
Yeah,
We had a whole tray of it.
And the puri.
Oh my lord.
Yeah,
that was some
so
good food.
flaky and delicious.
Definitely, there was a lot of restaurants that were really geared towards tourists, like Italian food and
Mediterranean.
Yeah. And
German.
Yeah.
Swiss.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff
Yeah.
like that. But we found went to a place that I think just was only locals there.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when I started getting back into trying some wheat too.
Yeah.
My rash had started to subside, and I was testing out to see if I could trigger it again or
If you're okay.
if I was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did good.
So I got the puri.
And you were fine.
Yeah, totally fine.
Yeah.
We wandered through town. We walked actually to the east temples.
Yep.
Yeah.
With when we walked to the East Temples, we had
Some Klingons.
Yeah, we had a couple of like younger guys who were trying to, like, they come up to you with the, like, oh, I'm in university and I just want to practice my English with you. I'm like, oh yeah, cool, sure, go ahead. So they walk with you and start off with just some like discussion, and they start trying to tell you about the sites and stuff, and like
They're trying
just
to
like gradually sneak in as like
coax
a
into
tour
you asking
guide.
questions. Yeah.
Yeah, and then at that point they start like
Of course they'll
wanting
get
your money,
tip at the
right? But we were like, well, we told them right off the bat, like, we're not interested in like paying you to be our guide or whatever. But they came along anyway and kept telling us stuff, and we just kept talking about whatever. Anyway, so actually it was kind of interesting because that actually does work for them. Like they end up being hired as tour guides, and like the guy I was talking to, he's been like all over India doing that. Like people will hire them for like a week or for the whole vacation or whatever. So I think that'd be pretty sweet actually. But anyway, I
Can we
digress.
say when we went down to the South temples, they weren't as Kama Sutra-y as the ones.
Yes.
So what did the guy say to you? What we?
One of the other tour guides, like we had kind of seen the same tour guides. They were taking tourists around. You could hire a tour guide for the day and they would explain everything for you. Now, the records aren't super great, so a lot of it, they're just great storytellers, which is still, a craft. But
and so like right before we went, then I actually watched Slumdog Millionaire again, and I'd kind of forgotten about some of the stuff, but like, so he had done that at the Taj Mahal and just like was just made up stories, right? So you never know what you're getting from these guys, but it's all good. It's entertaining, right? So
we'd gotten a tuk-tuk and we'd gone down to the southern temples, and these are Jain temples, so they're not quite as
Pam, is that a paleo beer you got there?
Yeah.
Way to call her out.
Yeah.
They're not they weren't as graphic, and I was reading one of the placards and one of the other tour guides that we'd seen at other temples. I was like, oh, these are less obscene or whatever the word was on the placard. And he said, do you know why this one has less? And I was like, no, why? And he's like, 'cause you've seen enough. Which was hilarious.
Yeah, we appreciated that.
And then that's where the security guard put down his gun so that he could do a supermodel photo shoot with us.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was
Put
fun.
some of
We got
those in
good
there, too.
photos
He
of
took
that.
some really great photos of the three of us.
That one leaning one that's one of my favorite
Yeah.
ones. So.
Yeah. And then the tuk-tuk driver that we had found drove us all over and showed us around the village and the watering hole, and all the little houses were still painted for Diwali. Bright colors, and it was really cool. And then the tuk-tuk driver, we had arranged for him to pick us up the next morning and take us to, they have a park, an animal sanctuary, falls, and sort of a river. So he arranged to meet us at 9 a.m. the next day at our hotel and pick us up. And then Raj was in some pain, so
I was really sore. Yeah, I mean that first day there's a lot of walking and standing, and it's all like stone that we're on. So, and you have to take your sandals off every time you go into one of these temples. So,
and the stress. It was after the shitty Air India flight too.
Yeah.
Being angry.
Yeah.
So
some extra tension in my body and that, but yeah.
So Pam and Raj stayed behind, and I went with the tuk-tuk driver to the park.
Is he still texting you?
Yeah. Yeah, yes.
Got Holly alone and thought he could like.
You're so beautiful.
He's like, do you mind if we take a motorcycle instead of the tuk-tuk since it's just you and me? And I was like, yeah, that's fine. You have a helmet? And he nodded yes. And then there was no helmet.
Did he nod yes, or did he give you one of these?
No, he nodded yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. I was terrified and holding on for dear life. And then he slowly crept my hand up and tighter around him. And I was like, Yeah, I was flattered. He was lovely. Started asking questions about where I live, and I said I lived with Raj, thinking that maybe he'd back off a little. And,
Oh yeah. So then the next day, later when he came to like pick us all up, then
he had a
he
friend.
had a buddy with him just in case
Oh,
like I was gonna
funny.
like beat him or something.
Who knows if that was what it was?
That's our assumption. That's the better
Yeah.
story.
Now that
So-
he's texting because Raj can't beat him up while he's texting. So it's safe.
Pam and Raj.
Just in case I'm like a husband or something. Yeah.
Pam and Raj thought that maybe he was.
I totally thought he was gay.
Yeah,
I
not
thought he was
interested
gay
in women.
too.
And I just after the advances, I texted them. I was like, "Not gay unless you paid for the tourist romance package."
Yeah. Anyway, so
Yeah.
and then. Oh, then we were just killing some time, waiting for
Our flight?
our flight, and so we decided to just like explore the village a little bit, and so we were just wandering around some back streets and just looking at some stuff, and then there was this.
Let's go to the goats first.
Yeah, there's a bunch of demon goats, because they're like crazy demon eyes. But they were like hanging out in like this garbage pile, like basically kind of like this dump area that they have just behind.
Yeah, and all the villagers take their trash.
Yeah, and they just leave it
and
there.
just dump
then
it there.
Whatever animals eat whatever they can in there, so the goats are hanging out in there.
And they were
then there
hopping
was
up on the back of the
Yeah, and
truck.
there was like a tractor with a trailer, and the trailer had a bunch of garbage on it, and the goats were like jumping up there. But I kept missing them jump up there. I'm like, how did they get up there?
Hey, buddy. Why didn't you jump up in the truck like everybody else? Now there's a gang of goats in there. You too good for the truck?
Gotta say. Those demon goats have mad hops. And then, so anyway, the three of us just standing there like,
Arms crossed.
it looks like we're just like staring at the garbage heap. So then the villagers are like seeing us like just staring at their garbage heap. Like, how weird is that? And we were there for a while because I kept wanting to watch. I saw some goats coming down the laneway, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna see these ones jump up there," and then I kept missing it. And so then they came over, and the guy wanted to show us his field and stuff. So
a little behind the
Lavender
scenes.
fields. Is it lavender?
Pam and I are like mint. Pam and I are like a full head taller than most Indian men, and Raj's head and shoulders above most of them. So
And
We're-
we're not that. We're average height.
yeah. So we're essentially giants standing there staring at a garbage pile. And this lovely Indian family came up and asked Raj to follow him so that he could show him the farm. And we went through their house and into the yard. These people have a machine to pump, to irrigate their mint fields. They dug this well, hand dug this well. And there's this big mint farm and a well that they've dug themselves and mango trees.
That was cool because that was
Yeah.
a deep well. Yeah. Anyway, but like we had to like walk through their house, like, and it's got like a big courtyard and stuff. And I was like, it's pretty cute. So I think there's like 3 families kind of living in that little complex or whatever.
Yeah.
But like the doors were so small, like I felt like I was basically crawling through them. And I'm just thinking, like, afterwards, like, how friggin' weird is this? Like, you see a giant.
Yeah.
Like if I came downstairs to our apartment door and saw a giant staring at the dumpster, I would not invite him in and show him the rest
Bring
of
him
the
in
house.
and just like walk him around in our house
He
with like
looks safe.
with the little kids and stuff running around. Like, yeah, no problem.
So they were just so lovely.
Bizarre. Anyway, but it was
Yeah.
so cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like seriously, those doors were so like they were probably like here. No, less than that. It was ridiculous. But anyway,
Yeah.
very
Tiny.
cool. Very weird.
Tiny.
Yeah.
And then we got on the
No, there's one other thing that happened. We went to grab some chai. I think this was actually before, but anyway.
This was before, yeah.
Yeah, so we went to grab some chai from this little like roadside tea place, and there was a calf that was like just hanging out there in the yard, and then it like
Accosted
starts
Raj.
like coming over and like getting right in her face, and
It licked
Yeah.
me, and it was
I ran
all
away.
up in Raj's grill.
anyway, it was pretty cute, but
Yeah.
also like, you know, like dirty and like flea bitten kind of thing. Like,
Did you actually touch that one?
yeah, to push it
I
away.
didn't.
Oh,
Oh,
I
yeah,
did
right.
because I was like,
It slobbered all over my leg. It really likes you, Raj.
It will like him even more if he keeps petting him like that. Just, oh,
No,
no.
good.
No, 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 no.
Oh, I see that giant tongue. It's coming my way. My neck was all
yeah.
cow slimed.
Yeah.